There are many ways to kill an orc. But for you, I will keep it strong and simple. Stab, twist, gut. Come at me.
All I know is that dad can play.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
5 minutes later.
You flipped too hard, damn it!
Never want to flick too hard. Just want to make it just right, especially for a nooner. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Wow. We're only 9 minutes late. Okay, chat, take it easy. I'm seeing all this late and gay stuff. It's like, okay, I have to remember there's a lot of new people here. I have improved so much on getting on time.
Oh, yeah. The good old FNT days start at, what time was it?
Sometimes an hour.
2 hours.
The truth of the matter was that we wouldn't talk to each other all week. And then we'd start, like 9 of us get in there. Like, did you hear? And freaking Az just talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks.
Yeah.
And Jeremy has to plug, like before he plugs his own channels, when he's live, he plugs like 9 of them just with us, each one of us, just to get warmed up. I'm just kidding.
One each.
Just a little bit.
Plug for one each person is
Hail, everyone. My voice came back somewhat, a little Barry White right now. And the Orlando meetup was fantastic. So big props to Geeks and Gamers, Shresh from 221B, I guess K-Biz, Ryan Kinnell, Jeremy, and again, the whole Geeks and Gamers crew. They put on a really, really, really good event. That was freaking packed. But I mean, of course, what made it all was you guys in the fellowship. I was blown away. We essentially had 3 meetups, at 2 at a very nice venue, by the way, and that was packed. And then like we were gonna do like just a little casual one at Universal City Walk, which wasn't cheap, by the way. It was $27 parking. It was effing crowded. There was a ton of you there. There was a little pavilion, and you guys packed it. I was blown away. It was fucking awesome. So thank you. Cheers to you and the fellowship. It's the best part of this gig is meeting y'all. So we're back live. We missed the Nerdrotic Nooner. We always hate missing a nooner, but we're back, and we're with Chris Gore. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Gary. What's happening? I feel like a little still hungover from Halloween, but it's an awesome weekend, and I followed all your adventures. You guys, man, FNT was great, but then also just sort of the live streams that would pop up. It was just really fun to see everybody. And also that Harry Potter land. I know you got to go to that, dude. That is...
It's fucking awesome, dude.
It's awesome.
It's so awesome. Yeah.
It's so immersive, and you're thinking like if only just Disney had just like done a Star Wars land with kind of like the Star Wars land version of the Harry Potter, that would have been huge. And the Star Wars whatever Galaxy's Edge is a real forgettable theme park. It's I didn't even mention the best part, dude. Marvel Adventure Land or Island or whatever the hell it's called is like this time capsule that Disney can't touch. It's 90s Marvel. So they can probably keep it forever, but they can't update it. So it's 90s Marvel. They have this Spider-Man ride that's based on the animated series, this awesome Hulk coaster, Fantastic Four themed restaurants, Silver Surfer, Kingpin. Everything is like Marvel when it was Marvel. They have Stan Lee Boulevard and Yancey Street and the Doctor Doom drive. It was fucking awesome. That was like my second. Well, it was like 1A, 1B. It was Harry Potter and that. Yeah.
I hope they never change it. Just keep updating it. I thought it's like you walk in and it's like 90s land. It's so cool.
Yeah, and it's like an old school theme park with lots of coasters and rides and whatnot. But yeah, no, I forgot about that. That was super fun. And all the artwork, you're right, it's all 90s Marvel. It's like when Marvel, when you cared about the comics. Now I can't I can't remember the last time I bought a Marvel comic that wasn't like a reprint or just like a older one, right? Like,
Yeah,
just, I just buy used comics now,
that same here. No, and Universal is like, I have no desire to set foot in Disneyland or Disney World ever again for the rest of my life. Don't care. Don't like them anymore. Don't like their politics. Don't like their characters very much. They killed Marvel and Disney. Like the last place we went to as a group, me and Jeremy and a bunch of others, was Galaxy's Edge. Like right after it opened back in 2019, it was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's like it's a joke, especially when like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is everything Disney wants and can't have, and will never have anymore because they're too fucking corporate.
Yeah, and you heard how J.K. Rowling was so adamant about certain aspects of the park that it had to be. She was very controlling in a good way, right? And in a way that, like, look, she's a creative, and she had a vision for what it was to be. And the problem is, you look at something like Galaxy's Edge, and you realize that it's like this thing is just compromise. How many meetings did people have at corporate where idiots were just trying to get in their ideas? And it just seems like this compromised corporate, it's the dollar store version of Star Wars is what
it really is. And it was put together by the story group, dude. That fucking story group. Oh, that fucking story group.
Oh, yeah, it's a bunch of Mario Puzos in a room. Actually, none. I mean,
it's cosplay Mario Puzos. It's actually Mario Poodles. It's a bunch of poodles dressed as Mario Puzo. They're responsible for all the shit in Star Wars, by the way. Like Jar Jar, Rianne, Kathleen Kennedy, but all the bad storytelling, story group. Fucking story group. They're hacks. They're terrible. That's why they don't like us very much.
Oh my god. It's just part of it is I just think that they're too cheap. Yeah, they're too cheap. They don't want to pay really for people that would come with good ideas, right? Like, I think that's really what it is. I mean, you heard that thing, when they originally started with doing, I mean, even with episode 1, George was going to hire a screenwriter, and it's like he didn't want to do union. You know, he doesn't like the film unions. I mean, I don't blame him. But I think that's part of it, is just being cheap.
Well, it's because film unions drive up costs like crazy, fucking crazy, and it's fucking art. This isn't like salt mines. I've kind of always felt that way. I think if I hate all unions, if any sector of Hollywood deserved a union, it's the one that doesn't have one, and it's the ones in post and doing metadata and compression, all that. Like they're the ones. But again, like it's a dime a dozen job. It's not very hard. It might be stressful if you let the stress get to you, but it's art. So it's not going to a fucking coal mine.
Right. Maybe not as stressful as working at Starbucks. Starbucks supposed to have a union. I don't know if you saw that video of the kid that filmed himself having a meltdown.
Why would he do that?
Well, that's the thing is, why did that
find that X-ray girl? I don't know where to look for it. I missed it. We were having too much fun to pay attention to internet for a few days there. I did all my catching up yesterday when I couldn't talk.
Right. Oh my god.
I was talking shit on Twitter all day, and it was real, and just reading articles, and holy crap. I wrote an entire video and then did it late last night. Garrett, that's why Garrett's not here. He's working on it. I put his ass to work. He drove back in one day, that maniac.
Wow. One day straight? Like
one day straight.
How long? How many hours is that? Like,
he left. We ate breakfast at 10 at Perkins, which was pretty good. It's like a Denny's. I liked it. Very good omelet. And then he texted me at 2 a.m. So we had flown in, landed, and I was still up, and he texted me at 2 a.m. saying I just got in.
Whoa.
Wow. Oh, poor thing.
Like he didn't stop. But youth.
Okay.
He's very young. Plus, he's got 4 kids to get home to. No, I'm sorry, 17 kids to get home to, and his wife.
Chris,
Probably
was
more.
the video 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's about 2 minutes. It's
Okay. Yeah, this
it's
is the one then.
having a breakdown, and I mean, everybody's talked about it. Oh, that's the one. That's it.
Oh yeah. Okay. I saw some people. It didn't. Why the fuck would you do this?
I don't know.
People wonder why we need a union at Starbucks, and I am literally about to quit. Like, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but like, I really want to. I almost walked out today, and I'm crying in the back room right now, and I almost cried on the floor. It's just...
Oh, sorry.
I'm like a full-time student. I get scheduled for 25 hours a week, and then on weekends they schedule me the entire day, open to close. I'm on the schedule for 8.5 hours, both Saturday and Sunday. I'm like 3.5 hours into my shift. There's so many customers, and we have 4 people on the floor all day. Only 5 people were put on the schedule, and somebody had to call out. And there are 4 people running the whole store, and there's so many customers.
I can't.
Gary, oh, Gary, we've got so many people in the chat.
This is
so many questions.
this is where I say, like, hospital employees, we've gone through a lot compared to this dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You
Wow.
have no idea. Oh my fucking god.
Wait until he gets into real life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's wrong. I mean, like, we're an affluent society, and it's endemic with a lot of his generation right now, which is too bad. Not everybody. I know there's some hardworking people out there who are self-motivated. That's parents. That's our society that's been so fucking coddling. 8.5 hours is a normal shift, as you know. Many of us have. I did the 40-hour a week blue collar thing for 20 years. 20 years. I was running places alone when people called in sick. I preferred that. That was, I was busy, but man, there was nobody there. I was my own boss. It was great. It's fucking awesome.
Time passes by so much quicker too.
So much faster when you're busy. And you're just making fucking coffee. And I know, like, well, don't work at Starbucks. Probably that would be the first thing. Work at Pete's or something.
Mhm.
Pizza's a little better. I miss Pete's. Okay, that was the one good thing about San Francisco is Pete's coffee. That shit was like crack. But are you surprised that you see that at all? Like, it's pathetic.
No.
I want to feel sorry for him, and I also want to slap him open-handed.
It's giving a generation a bad name.
Oh, that's so abusive. No, his dad should have done that many times a long time ago. Builds character. Just a little whack up the head going, fucking wake the fuck up, you little pussy. Oh, life's going to be hard for him. And I blame his parents. I'll blame his parents.
And wait till he sees the new Black Panther and realize Black Panther's not in it.
Well, he's not supposed to go see the next Black Panther. He's a white man. And I would like to ruin my next videos. I will solemnly swear not to buy any tickets to Wakanda Forever. I will buy them for Black Adam because I support black people. Then I'll sneak into Wakanda Forever and review it anyway.
Oh my god!
Like I've done with every Disney Marvel film.
The clips that have been leaking out are to make the movie looks terrible.
It looks awful. It looks awful. And people are going, Ryan Coogler. Listen, Sam Raimi, who's a better director than Ryan Coogler, sorry, just made a shitty Marvel movie. Okay. And I like the first Creed. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
That was fine. Didn't he do Fruitvale Station too?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't watch that because I was in San Francisco when that happened. That was fucked up. I thought Creed was fine. I thought it was good. I thought Black Panther was the most overrated above average film of all time. And above average is arguable. I know.
Well, it's that horrible third act.
Picture? Yeah. Best fucking picture? Dark Knight doesn't get nominated for best picture, which should have. But like Spider-Man No Way Home should have been nominated for best picture for saving fucking Hollywood, and they didn't nominate it. That's a crime right there. Fuck the Oscars. But I digress. It was a precursor to the MCU. Black Panther was. Yes, it was.
Well, it's not, and now we're hearing it's like, yeah, it's true. Like, you know, T'Challa's not in it or whatever. And you've seen the thing where it leaked out that what his original story was before.
Yeah, it was Endgame.
It was sort of Endgame. Yeah, it was sort of like which I think would have been interesting.
Yes.
You know? So,
well, dude, Black Panther versus Namor would have
Right.
been rad. That would have been fucking excellent. But if Namor here, if I can get the right picture, Luke Evans, that's the actor's name. There's a picture of Luke Evans as Namor, and I'm like, oh shit, he looks like fucking Namor. The guy who's playing Namor, is not Namor.
Dude, I finally saw some scenes with Namor, and it looks stupid. It's not, you know.
They pointed this out on Real BBC. We pointed this out on Friday Night Tights.
Yeah.
The first time we all see Namor in a clip, he's invading a land, stepping out of a body of water, putting his wet hair. I'm not even going to say it. I'll just let your imagination do the rest. And yes, it's Roman spelled backwards. Namor is Roman spelled backwards. He is the Submariner, which is derived from the tale of the ancient mariner. Imperius Rex is Latin. The Atlantis myth comes from Egyptian priests to Solon to Plato. So you could, and they're probably in the, was it the Azores? Yeah, that's probably where Atlantis was. So you have a whole region you can choose from to pick Namor. It doesn't have to be a white dude, even though he's half American, half Atlantean in the comics. And they chose what? The feathered serpent? Quetzalcoatl. Sorry, that's the Aztec version that they actually sacrificed human beings to rip their hearts out and shit. They said Kukulkan, which is the Mayan feathered serpent. But the feathered serpent's also derived from the Olmecs, which is a much, much older culture. With no writing, I believe, so they don't know. And most of the codex were burned by the Spanish. The Mayan codex. I'm not sorry, I'm going to bore you with this shit. So yeah, there's a ton. So they used what's it called? Talocon, which is an Aztec paradise, kind of lorded over by a rain deity. So now they've kind of mixed that in with Kukulkan and made a brand new Atlantis. Now, did they do this? I'm totally ruining my next video. Did they do this for representation?
I'm sure they did.
Of their heart, they wanted like, we need more South Americans watching Disney Plus. We're going to do this for representation.
I guess. I don't know. There's like a huge fan base of DC fans in South America.
There's a massive comic fan base in South America. Always has been.
Yeah.
Always has been. You don't need to tap. Dude, great metal scene down there. Great comic scene down there. Like, it's not even a problem. No, it's rights issues. That's it. They didn't do it. They didn't do it for representation out of the goodness of their hearts. They needed to change the character enough to avoid Universal's, which Universal still has the film rights, the film distribution rights, until I hear different. Kevin Feige's been mum on it for 2 years. So I just went off. I went over it. For about 3 hours yesterday, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So there's some nebulous producer group that owns some rights to him. Universal owns the film rights. Marvel can basically do the same thing they do with Hulk, with Namor. They can put him in movies. He could be part of a group, but he can't have a solo movie unless they change the character completely and just call him Namor. I'm curious, Chris, are they going to call him the Submariner in this movie?
100% no. But it's one of those things of what is the rule 25% off model? Is that the rule? Like, used to be 25%.
That is, yes, with some stuff, and they're way beyond 25% right now. They're 50% off model, so they can do whatever they want with Namor. And that, when I heard his name being mispronounced, that's when it's like, something smells a little fishy. I know that's on the nose, but yeah. I was like, oh no. So they're trying to spin this bullshit. And then we have, again, watch my video, it'll be out tomorrow. But yeah, so I made a couple email and like it's rights issues. They don't give a shit about like that's the same stuff they've been doing in comic books for years, is to screw over creatives and estates. Is you just get it 25% off model. They did that with Superman, taking away the curl, taking away the outside underwear. That wasn't a creative decision. That was a decision to screw over the original creators' estates. When you see a gender swapped or mantle swapped character, it's generally a way to screw over creators and not done for representation. It's representation to avoid rights issues 99% of the time. The one color that matters, green.
Exactly, man.
So if representation matters, then the motivations behind it need to matter. That's what I believe, and they're fucking liars. They're all fucking liars. So it's nothing new. If you've been around the comic industry for any amount of time, you know this. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. Hi, X-Ray Girl.
Hi. I had so much fun in Orlando. I wish I had time to hang out with you guys at Universal. Unfortunately, I came in too late. But I'm seriously reconsidering my life choices after Friday Night Tights. I should get into the feed industry.
Oh, yeah. Good God.
That was a little bit of a shock, but yeah, that was really fun. I always love watching the Friday Night Tights crew in real life, or just anyone really, because the dynamic is so different. And getting to meet everyone on Sunday was awesome. I see some people in the chat that I met, and to finally put their faces to their screen name, that's pretty cool. And actually, I got to meet some people I've met already, so it's cool that I'm like, yes, I remember you. So to the people we met, yes, it was nice meeting y'all.
Yep, and everybody got to see your feet and your legs, and the Laura Strong memes were strong.
They were strong.
They were strong.
Yes. Next year, I think we should, Mark and I should cosplay as Laura Strong and Allison.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Well, he could be the Clubfoot. Yeah, he could be the Clubfoot. Totally. And you can start only feet.
Yep.
Or only foot in Mark's case.
Yeah. Well, he has like 7 feet. Then I can show them all off at once in a row. But yeah, it was fun. And I'm tired. It was worth it. And I can't wait to get back to everything.
Yeah. I was dying to get back to it. It was like, it's been 8 days since I put a video on the channel. I'm like,
yeah. And got enough sleep.
Tighten me, man.
Oh my God, I'm tired.
Oh, I'm fucking wiped out. It's good though. It was like, running around Universal for 2 days. That is not relaxing at all, especially Halloween Horror Nights. Chris, have you been there for Horror Nights?
Yes, I have. Unfortunately, when I went, I didn't get the front of the line pass. So you can only get, if you're lucky, half the mazes. But yeah, Halloween Horror Nights is so fun. It's that, and then Knott's does Knott's Scary Farm. I've never been to the Disney one, but it looks kind of lame. It's little kids.
Bless you.
I'll never bless you. Yeah. I don't think I'll ever go. Everyone that tells me when they go to Disney, it's a nightmare. You're going in not even knowing you're going to be able to ride certain attractions. Everything is reservations, and it seems like miserable, plus the fact that they raise prices. So
then there's like Disney adults running around.
Yeah, the Disney. Yeah.
That would be the worst. So yeah, I no, Universal's just cooler. It's just a cooler park. It's objectively cooler. It's got cooler properties. Even the older Marvel stuff makes it cooler. That fucking Velociraptor roller coaster. Holy shit, that was good. Oh,
was that the one where You didn't have the straps on the arms. It was just that thing
Yep.
on your
Or
lap.
your ass is
Okay.
leaving the seat, and it feels like the roller coaster trying to throw you out. That's part of the ride. So you're doing these like little corkscrews, and like you're getting tossed out. Like, you're like, oh shit, that's pretty good. And then it
sounds
goes
fun.
like at the very end, it just speeds up to 70 miles an hour, and you're like, oh, that was freaking awesome. Yeah, they just have better rides, and it's and they've got cooler shops. It's the fast pass, the express, like it's worth every penny. You just get right on every ride. There's only 2 rides that don't do it, and it's the Velociraptor one, which the line moves fast, and Hagrid, which the line does not move fast at all. It is long, but otherwise, it's totally worth it if you want to go. Orlando's a trip, dude. Orlando is a trip. It's a swamp. It is a fucking swamp. I didn't see any alligators though, so I was a little disappointed.
Was it humid?
Oh yeah, but I mean not like Texas summer humid.
Right.
That was fine. I'm sure their summers are worse, but like I just sat through a Texas summer. I was like, it's fine, no problem. I also saw a Valiant Renegade stream where he was talking about WD Pro and Disney are going to start counting Latinx representation as white representation, according to the rumors. Don't know if I'd buy it, but interesting. Grizzly, Valiant Renegade's awesome, dude. Props. I don't know W Pro, but I would count Disney as doomed. They're doomed as a corporation. Universal's starting to beat them in certain aspects of the park, and that's just the beginning. Bob Chapek's a fucking moron. I've said that from the beginning. I'll say, like, just look at his act with the parks. There's clownfish videos from 3 years ago where they talk about that. They call him Chapek. Like he's a penny pincher, and you could see it. Marvel. So little behind the scenes on YouTube. If a channel is struggling, or a way a channel can work, I won't say struggling. This is one of the ways channels can work on YouTube, is you put out lots of content. It's called spamming content. You put out 3-4 videos a day, every day. That's probably the quickest way to grow a channel. It's not easy. Commonly it's called low tier content, but I challenge anybody to sit in front of a camera and just go for 10 minutes without stopping, without editing or any jump cuts or anything. Not easy thing to do. Some people are better than others at it. But some people really excel, and it is a talent, but it's the fastest way for your channel to grow. Disney's doing that with fucking Marvel and Star Wars now. They're just spamming fucking content. They're just throwing shit out there. So the minutes stay up because all these streaming services for now are rated on minutes watched. And it's based on the Netflix binge model. That's why Netflix is always number one, because all their shit's out at once. So you got 50 episodes of Cobra Kai getting watched all the time. Their minutes are going to be higher. It's not really a good metric, though. It's not really like who's watching your show, how many episodes are being watched, how long are they being watched. They're treating it like YouTube. Problem is you have hour-long shows, half-hour-long shows, 20-minute shows, not 10-minute videos that people watch most of. So what they're counting a view is anything up to from 1 minute to 6 minutes. So people aren't watching all the stuff. The reason they don't share actual data, which they can, they know what you're eating while you're watching practically, is it's all low. It's all incredibly, incredibly low. And it doesn't justify the money that's going into these streaming services. So they're spamming content right now. And they're telling us Werewolf by Night was this massive success. Was it? It didn't chart anywhere. I watched it. It was 6 out of 10.
Yeah, it was very average, just okay.
Yeah. But Disney called it a massive hit.
Really?
Yeah, Disney called it a massive hit. Nobody else has, but Disney has. Just like Amazon called Rings of Power a massive hit, according to them. They've been really fucking quiet lately, though, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Still got a cold. Okay. But yeah, it's the story of Disney on the wane. Like they had their time at top, and this is all repercussions of the Iger era, not even the Bob Chapek era, because Disney didn't innovate jack shit. They bought a bunch of stuff when they reached maturity to stay relevant. And the stuff they bought, they fucking destroyed almost immediately. Marvel took a little more time, but almost immediately with Star Wars. And they're running out of properties and IPs to destroy. Fucking Doctor Who's going over there now. Oh, like it's almost funny because like after like you didn't even destroy Doctor Who. But you ain't gonna fucking. They can't build anything. They are incapable of building anything. And there is no other video that represents that than Bob Chapek's hostage video after the parental rights bill, which is what it's called, the parental rights bill. You can say gay. And he decided intelligently at first to stay out of it. And then 10 or 12 woke employees screamed and he bent over like a bitch. And now they own him. Now the board owns him. He's not changing jack shit. Nothing's changing at Disney. And things are changing. We're seeing it change. Henry Cavill goes to Superman and quits The Witcher. And as each day goes by, it's looking like Lauren Hisrich should lose her fucking job. That's the showrunner, by the way.
Yeah.
Like she should be fired right now. Her entire staff should be gone. Because you just lost the one person people care about, the one person people care about in that show. It's gonna fucking die. It won't get a season 5. It'll die. And we'll get back to that. But yeah, you're seeing the winds of change, and it's a lot of it's because, well, it's financial. A lot of it's financial, but a lot of these financial woes are because of the foundation of woke sand you built all your franchises on, and it's all fucking crumbling down. And Disney still has revenue streams to justify them not changing, and they're too scared. They're risk averse. It's much easier to rely on the somewhat apathetic normie who's not going to care enough than the minority of screeching SJWs who are going to scream at that they fucking hired that still run everything. And it's going to be the normie waking up eventually and going, I'm not taking my family to Disneyland this year. If I care about parental rights and my kids not being taught weird fucking stuff in school, then the first thing I can do is not go to Disneyland or Disney World. That's the first thing I can do as a parent. You know what? Especially if your kids are young, they don't give a fuck about Disneyland. Mickey Mouse is a giant rat anyway. Go to Universal. Go to Harry Potter. They like Harry Potter more anyway.
And Universal has that. It's not a big land, but they have that Simpsons area that's kind of fun. You can go to Moe's and you can get a Duff or a Duff Light.
Yep.
Barney is in there. You get a picture with Barney at the bar. It's great. That's what's great about Universal. It's all these. I mean, there's something for everybody. There's the Harry Potter, the Jurassic World Park stuff. It's just, it's so far surpassed Disneyland and Disney World now.
Yeah, Universal in LA is very casual. It's something you can like go to for 3 or 4 hours a day. Like it's like the annual pass is worth it. You can just go multiple times and not have to like coordinate family across the LA area, which is a nightmare. Plus there's actual studios there that are functional and they're shooting movies, and they still have the Jaws ride in LA, which is fucking awesome, by the way. At least they did last time I checked, which was 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's part of the tram tour. Right?
Yeah. They got rid of it at Orlando. It's dumb. And they got rid of Back to the Future too. Excuse me. I gotta.
It's all
You didn't
good,
even
man.
hear that.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
I'm at 80%.
80%. That's pretty good, man.
That's pretty good.
After everything I saw you guys do, you're talking earlier just about the winds of change. There's that article that appeared in the New York Times. I'm not sure if I talked about it on Film Thread. I DM'd it to you on Twitter, Gary.
I need it archived because I'm not subscribed to the New York Times.
I think you could maybe use a different browser like Brave or something. Maybe X-Ray Girl can help with that. But that story, the significance of that story is that it's in the New York Times, that producers, unnamed, are finally saying, I think we overcorrected with all the Me Too stuff. I think we might have hired people and put them in positions they weren't really ready for. And those are the two main takeaways from that article. Those are the two takeaways for that piece. I think it's really significant because now this is a mainstream thing that people are talking about. People are finally having conversations talking about that. Look, and you only need to look at the numbers, look at the box office, look at the box office of the successes, the types of films that have succeeded and the types of films that had failed miserably. You probably don't even remember a movie called The 355, Gary.
Oh, yes. The 355. But it's only vaguely, dude.
Yeah. Look, I never saw it, and I see a lot of stuff. I never saw it. It just, like, every time that trailer would come on, there's just something about it. It had that sort of like that last Charlie's Angels movie vibe with that what's her name directed that.
A 40-year-old virgin. I'm blanking on her name.
Is it Elizabeth Berkley? Was that her? No. Why am I?
Oh, help me. Chat will know.
Chat will know. The chat is always right.
Is always right. Well, wasn't that starring Jessica Chastain? Was that the? Yeah,
one of the stars of this ensemble. Actually,
Grace Randolph hates her.
Really?
Elizabeth Banks. Thank you.
Elizabeth Banks. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I say Elizabeth Banks.
Who was super hot in 40-year-old virgin, by the way, and just got less hot the more she talked.
I like her. She was in Spider-Man. She was in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Like Betty Brant. She was cute. And then somebody actually asked what her opinion was, and wow.
But look, I don't think actors have any actual opinions.
No, they don't.
By that I mean they only care about one thing, and that's getting hired for the next job. So they're effectively empty vessels that just parrot things that they feel is necessary to say to their quote platform, to their audience, in order to keep getting hired. And you see some people are kind of quiet about it or less passionate. And then you see, loudmouths like freaking Mark Hamill and Mark Ruffalo. I mean, those two are just insufferable on social media.
Yeah. It reminds me of the adage I heard down there was, I'll be whatever you need me to be.
Exactly. Yeah. It's Yeah.
Yeah. Go tit, by the way.
Hell yeah. I love that there's a shirt that is Go Tit. I saw.
Yeah, they were a hit.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. So
yeah, she really, yeah.
I've never actually watched an entire Grace Randolph video. I've only ever seen Grace Randolph like on your show or FNT, or like when she kind of like when a dumb clip of her like surfaces or gets passed around, I'll see the clip. I just feel like her voice is so grating. I don't know if I could listen to an entire 5 minutes of her talking.
It's a little long, but watch our EFAP we did of her the Suicide Squad review. That I laugh my ass off throughout entire EFAP, especially when she gets to like she obsesses over John Cena and tidy whities and obsesses over his junk, and it's like, oh, Grace needs a little D. That's what it is. That's all she needs. She needs a little D. It's okay. She'd probably be like, after she gets that, she'd probably be like based and relaxed and probably get better. Maybe her hair will be a little less
more
like
frazzled?
straw. Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know who does her hair, but it's shit.
I can hear Melissa saying that.
Oh my God. She was like, how does she have so many subscribers? I'm on YouTube. I have no explanation for anything that happens on this platform. I'm sure many say that about me. Hey, what's up, Nina? I'm good enough to make
China.
videos and piss off Hollywood. It's been far too long. I've missed pissing off Hollywood, so I decided to come out swinging in the next video. I got a special hat I'm wearing for the next video. I put it on Twitter. I don't know how many people will get the joke, but it's funny. I think it's funny. Yeah. I don't have monkeypox. Okay, I wasn't hanging out with geeks and gamers that long. Geeks and gamers. Hail Gary, Chris, and Exude Girl. Wanted to throw another show idea your way. A rated R Red Hood show starring Jensen Ackles. Thoughts? Yeah. See, that's the thing Warner Brothers can do that Disney can't. They can do rated R superhero movies like the Joker.
Yeah.
Make a legit Dark Knight now. And if the rumors are true that like Henry Cavill has creative say over Superman, and we're hearing things like optimism and heroism, traditional heroism. Remember, this is the same Warner Brothers, no organization, not the people. That said, I don't think anybody wants a Superman movie. It's a bit of a problem. It's too hard to write such a Boy Scout. Really? I think that's insane. I think that's an insane idea. I think after all, you know what people don't want is a bunch of dystopian shit. I think they're fucking tired of it. Or generic, I don't even want to disrespect the Power Rangers, but Power Rangers Marvel now, and I only mean that in the generic sense, right? But Power Rangers is probably cooler than fucking Marvel. No, it is. It is. Is it just me, or are John Carpenter's Escape from New York and Escape from LA movies becoming reality? No, it's not just you. Solid movies, by the way. Love them both. Also, do you think we will get a third installment of Escape from Woke Disney? Well, I mean, we kind of did that. Me and Jeremy did that. We and 15 of us at the time all got in for free and ran around like a bunch of idiots and left. It was pretty funny. We could escape from woke Disney easily. We take our wallets and we sit on them. And if you're a content creator and you need to review Wakanda Forever, I'm just going to say there's so many options out there. I wouldn't recommend any illegal ones, though. That would be bad. But Disney's been bad too. Does that justify it? Nah, probably not. But you do what you want. I'm not here to tell you what to do. And we got Jack Hudson for $20 saying, "Hail to the fellowship. It was really great meeting you, Gary. That was great meeting you. Currently on our way back to Pennsylvania." Oh, well, I met two people from Pennsylvania, but you drove. Safe travels to everyone still on the road. Have a very safe drive, Jack. It was nice meeting you. I know who you are now. We had people coming from Pennsylvania. They from Alaska,
Japan.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. Disney content isn't worth stealing. It's not. It's not worth even like feeling guilty about it, right? Oh, it's content, Nina.
Content gold.
I watch a lot of stuff I have zero interest in for content. Because you can always find something that can be I'll use their term, a teachable moment in it. I think there'll be a lot of teachable moments from Wakanda Forever, like Smokey and the Bandit 3. When you like not have okay, Chadwick Boseman, may he rest in peace. You should have recast him. But that's it. You pay tribute and you recast him. They recast the Joker. Spartacus, great fucking show, lost its star after the first season. Hodgkins. It was very sad, but they kept it going. They paid tribute. They kept it going. No actor is bigger than the character. But so yeah, I think it's up. I guess it's up to you guys if you're going to see it to decide whether it's going to be exploitive or it's done with it's a tribute done with reverence. We'll find out. I'm sure the people who knew Chadwick probably want to show him respect, and I'm sure Disney will act like it's respect, but it's probably exploitive. Thanks, Alex versus Evil. That's nice to say. Glad I met you, Gary. Back at you. Sorry. God, I should have brought some water up here. Oh, I got some. It's only a day old. It's fine. It's fine.
Fine.
Fine. I'm gonna pull. Did you find a way to pull up that New York Times article?
No, I tried mobile. I tried everything, and I always get the.
Yeah. Why don't you read it? If you can read it,
I can actually just send you the text. Give me a minute.
Okay.
I can email it to you, X-Ray girl.
All right.
Oh yes. Let me know when you sent it.
I ain't giving New York Times no fucking money.
Yeah.
No way. Hang on. There is some video of Victoria Alonso.
Oh no.
Yeah, where is here it is right here. It's on the Bounding into Comics. Great Bounding into Comics. Hail to them. Explaining Namor's name. Oh shit. I gotta share it without the audio. My bad. Boom, 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 boom.
I just sent it.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
This will not take long.
Oh, let's see this.
Can you hear it?
Namor is over there.
Can you hear it?
Oh my god.
Here we go.
No, Namor. I keep joking. Namor
is over there.
I know we talked to him already.
El niño sin.
Oh shit.
Eso le dicen Namor.
¿En serio?
El niño que creció sin amor. Namor.
Translates the boy who grew up without love, which is intersectional shit, by the way. Toxic masculinity comes from boys growing up without love or abusive fathers. That's their whole fucking thing. That's the whole bad father Hollywood thing. I mean, I'm going to say this in the kindest way, Chris, you can disavow. Fuck this bitch. She's the one who said the X-Men is outdated. She is one of the people who was just fucking terrible for Marvel. She doesn't know shit about shit. She's been around for a while, but once she was given a certain amount of power, she just turned into a fucking ideological maniac who probably, you know, she's a Hollywood producer, probably treats people like fucking shit, like every day treats people like shit. How this woman got so much power, I don't know, but she is one of the architects of the destruction of the MCU, which is currently the MCU. And I think it's fitting that Wakanda Forever is the final movie of the MCU Phase 4. But Namor, his name means avenging son. But that doesn't matter anymore. Because yeah, so like this is 90s shit though. Remember when we were just happy to see a superhero on screen and the costume looked somewhat like the fucking comic book? We were happy, but they always changed everything about it. But then we heard Marvel was gonna have control over their own characters, which meant, well, shit, they're gonna look like their characters, and they did in the beginning. Iron Man looked like Iron Man, Cap looked like Cap, Thor looked like Thor, Hulk looked like Hulk, and now look at it. Everybody's wearing the same fucking variation of some mech suit that just looks stupid and generic. Nobody ever wears the masks anymore. And Cap is gone. Iron Man's gone. Hulk has been essentially gone for a long time. It's sad. And they don't even own Spider-Man, which is kind of funny. And if I was Universal, I would never give up Hulk or any of those film rights ever, just to piss off Marvel, just to be dicks. Did you find that article?
I have the article ready.
Okay, let's do it.
Is the text too small for you to read?
Hey, shut up. Okay, I can read. I'm just kidding.
Size 12.5.
It's a good question. All right. After Me Too reckoning, I fear Hollywood is regressing. Now, I'm wondering what take on this. Hollywood corrected, so I think a regression on that would actually be good. The movement led to increased diversity and representation in the entertainment industry, but now there is a worry that executives have turned their attention elsewhere. Because people need to make money, probably. Harvey Weinstein's second sex crimes trial began Monday in Los Angeles. Oh, last Monday, really? She said about the journalistic investigation that took him down and helped ignite the Me Too movement arrives in theaters on November 18th. The Woman King opened to strong ticket sales last month. It was the lowest box office weekend in Hollywood in 25 years. In 25 fucking years. The week that the Woman King was number one. With Viola Davis saying that she thought about the man who sexually assaulted her to power her visceral performance as the leader of the all-female slavers of African warriors. I'm sorry, I had to put that in there just because that's what they were. The convergence is a reminder of just how earth-shaking hashtag #MeToo was for Hollywood. Absolutely. It was a power shift of the likes no one has ever seen. It helped touch off a broader reckoning in the entertainment industry. Oh, I'm sure people have stopped being sexually assaulted, especially on Don't Worry, Darling. There was nothing going on that set, right? Just pointing out. Industry around diversity, equity. I saw a great thing for equity. You know how equity, they have the guys watching the baseball game and they're all standing on the boxes to be equal. Well, the next picture over was one guy cut off and his legs cut off, and the other guy cut in half to be the same size as the person, and none of them can see over the fence. And they said true equity. That was great. That was fucking great. It helped touch off a Me Too for Hollywood. It helped touch off a broader reckoning in the entertainment industry around diversity, equity, and inclusion on both sides of the camera. Who gets to make movies? Who gets to be the subject to them? Activists say that studios and sets have been permanently changed for the better. Zero tolerance for workplace sexual harassment and discrimination is real. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's really been exploited too. In recent months, however, Hollywood's business culture has started to regress in subtle ways. Oh no, like regress into becoming money-making ventures again. New problems, widespread cost-cutting as the box office continues to struggle, coming union contract negotiations that producers worry will result in a filming shutdown. Oh, if the unions shut down Hollywood, the unions will break. They will break. Believe me, they will fucking export so much shit out. That's what the unions think they have power now. Like, there's no money. There's no money. Go ahead, go on strike, see what happens. Have become a higher priority, fearing blowback. Media companies that were vocal about Me Too and Black Lives Matter have been quieter on more recent political debates over cultural issues. I wonder if it has anything to do with the Summer of Love. Remember when Bad Reboot said, "No more white comfort"? I do. I will never forget that they said that. An industry that completely relies on comfort just told a section of its audience that you don't get anymore. Jar Jar Abrams sucks. Diversity, equity, and inclusion executives say that they are exhausted by an old boy network that is continuously trying to reinstitute itself. Women who were hired for big, I thought I saw big tits right there, for big jobs and held up as triumphant examples of new era have been pushed aside, while some of the men who were sidelined by misconduct accusations are working again. Do you think it has something to do with they didn't do anything? Chris, I don't know. I think that investigations were made, and a lot of accusations turned out to be either bullshit or just normal human interaction. Was there some abuse? Absolutely. Some of it was done by the people who were running Me Too. Weird, huh? The actress Viola Davis carrying a torch and dressed as a warrior with two large knives strapped to her belt in a scene from The Woman King You mean about the slaver, the woman slaver who executed people? You can scroll down, X-ray girl, a little bit. Are they really trying to like frame this around the woman king? Me too. Around the woman king.
I was getting coffee. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, so many people got caught up. Like Aziz Ansari, like remember that case where he
dude
went on a bad date, and it seemed like women could get, people that were accusers would get some notoriety if they reported, I had a terrible interaction with this person. And I mean, look, there were some legit things in there, but after a while it was just like, it got ridiculous. It got ridiculous.
I think this is great article, by the way. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, dude. Like,
good Lord. They're trying to frame it around the woman king. Okay. Okay, let's roll with this. The Woman King, starring Viola Davis as the leader of an all-female group of African slaver warriors who enslaved their own people. I mean, like, enslaving people is enslaving your own people, by the way. Like any human being, like if you are enslaving a human being, you are enslaving your own people. Opened to strong ticket sales last month. I don't know what this says, right? It's according to what, Sony or no, that's what the picture. Okay, so again, I need to repeat, that was the worst box office in 25 years. The worst box office since Clinton was fucking president. Right? 25 years is Clinton. Yeah. Since Monica Lewinsky have asked to speak on the record about their continued dedication to change, Hollywood executives refuse or scramble in terror toward the We Remain staunchly committed talking points written by publicists. Well, I mean, that's fucking nothing new. But what they say privately is a different story. Some revert to sexist and racist language. Certainly, much of the fervor is gone. What? Okay, where's an example? Are you getting rid of diversity? No, I can't even say what I want to say.
Do it.
No.
I hear you, Gary.
Am I able to?
Oh. Is that what they're saying? No, they're not. They're not. Like what? So people, nebulous people, are scrambling around, going, "Are you staying vigilant to diversity and equity?" And the Hollywood executives refuse, and then scramble in terror. Bullshit. This is all bullshit. This article is based on interviews with more than 24 industry leaders, including top studio executives, agents, activists. The word activist, why is this even here? Why is that even being brought up? This is an entertainment industry. So for all the people out there who said that, you know, there's no conspiracy, there's no conspiracy, there's no activists, it's just a bunch of like-minded dipshits. No, it's a bunch of like-minded dipshits that are being controlled by activists, because that's what they do. They manipulate. They're manipulating the manipulators, and they're doing a pretty fucking good job of it. But now, there ain't no money. This, you know what? You can do shit like this in a Trump economy. And it was an economy during Trump, so that's why I'm calling it the Trump economy. You know, the one that was really fucking good prior to COVID. Best one I've ever seen in my life. Everybody had jobs. Money was flying fucking everywhere. Housing prices, were kind of insane. But, it was... Disney was making $1 billion on half-ass live-action remakes of their fucking animated movies like The Lion King. Yeah, shit was good. Activists, marketers, same thing now. And producers. By the way, the marketers, and I mean that, they are the same thing. They are the activists. They are a lot of them for the major studios are young, woke white women fresh out of university. And producers who's shout out to Yellow Flash, woke white woman, scourge of society. who spoke on condition of anonymity to candidly discuss the current state of the entertainment business. They varied in age, race, ethnicity, and gender, meaning they're probably man or woman. That's my guess is. For 3 years, we hired nothing but women and people of color, said a senior film executive who, like many leaders in the industry, is a white male. He added that he did not think some of them were able to do their jobs. They got in hushed conversations over lunch at Toscana Brentwood and cocktails at San Vicente Bungalows. Some powerful producers and agents have stated the question to commercially viability of inclusion-minded films and shows. So, in other words, you hired a bunch of inexperienced people based on the color of their skin and their, what did Dylan call it? Barbie pocket, whatever.
Oh no!
Of, and they weren't up to the job. I'll give you an example. Lauren Hisrich. Lauren Hisrich worked with Daredevil towards the end. Season 3, the weaker season, but still pretty good. She worked with other talented people and she did okay. She is completely out of her fucking league doing European-based fantasy. She's out of her fucking league from day one. That was pretty fucking clear. Even the 7 out of 10 season 1 went off the rails in season 2. They didn't just depart from the books. They abandoned the books that they were supposed to be. And apparently they mocked the source material. They mocked the source material and it showed. She should be fired. Everybody, one of the writers, I believe they're still on Twitter, and in their bio, it says smash the patriarchy smasher. Patriarchy smasher. If that is on your bio, you should be fired immediately. Fired immediately. Nobody wants a feminist take on European fantasy. I know that's a real fucking hot take, but we just sat through Rings of Power. We sat through The Witcher. Poor people have, poor Robert Jordan fans have sat through The Wheel of Time. Nobody wants fucking a modern American feminist European fantasy. It's just not a big seller because it's shit. God. They point out terrible ticket sales for films like Bros, the first gay rom-com. Is it the first gay rom-com? I saw The Birdcage. That was kind of it's a remake of a play, but I thought it was kind of a rom-com. Am I wrong on that one? That came out 20 years ago. No, nobody wanted to see Bros. Like, straight dudes don't want to see dudes having sex with each other. It can exist in the world. It's fine. It's just not anything I'm going to actively seek out. Just like I won't actively seek out ordering seafood because I fucking hate it. Well, I don't think seafood should not exist in the world. I don't think other people shouldn't have seafood. I just don't like it. Repulses me. That's it.
Bros is if you go to RK Outpost, Ryan Kinnell's one of his favorite movies of this year. Dude, he has become the bro expert. He is like the bro tip of Bros. Ryan Kinnell definitely is. That's why he's the diversity and inclusion officer of Friday Night Tights. I mean, for sure. Yeah. No, look, this article. First of all, I'm ecstatic that this is finally being talked about. But the premises are incorrect. There's a lot of assumptions here that are not correct in this article. And so, but at least it's being discussed. I totally get it. No, I love this article. Yeah. I should have got to it sooner, but it was like right when I left for Orlando. But I'm glad we saved it for when you were here. Yeah. Because I see what the writer is doing, right? The writer is trying to really lean towards the woke side, but the writer is definitely putting in the Bros flopped. Yeah. So this is, the writer's a woke idiot, but they're at least putting in other sides of the argument that I can just go, yeah, you're right. And something worth pointing out, Gary, is the movie Terrifier 2, which is a horror film made by a director named Damien Leone, was a crowd-funded movie made for $250,000, is nearly close to $10 million at the box office, playing at AMC theaters across the country. This is a crowd-funded movie made for 250 grand.
That's fucking awesome.
Starring Art the Clown in a movie that is so, I mean, it's so gruesome. Every person I've talked to that's been to it says, yes, someone walked out of our screening. I mean, it's intense, but the fact that it's basically going to end up making more than Bros, and it's just a total like grassroots. Hey, I made this movie. It's timing. It's the fact that, you know, this filmmaker's he's made other short films. He made the first Terrifier movie, and I mean, it's just like people wanted a really gory, over the top, like I dare you to see this movie type of film, and it's doing better than Bros. But that doesn't get brought up in this article, right? That it's like people are going to alternative films outside of the Hollywood system, whether it be like Indian films or, you know, other foreign language films. I just saw a Korean film last night called Decision to Leave, which was really good. So Hollywood is in big trouble, but they're not pointing out those other facts that should be part of this discussion, you know?
No, Disney in particular is kind of like turning into the woke monolith 5,000-foot canary in the coal mine right now, because their inability to change and their absolute refusal to change is going to be their downfall. Like the data is clear. Like Warner Brothers slashing, they fucking canceled a movie. They canceled a fucking almost completed movie that scored higher than Black Adam, and they're taking their losses on Black Adam just so they can reintroduce Superman. That's basically it, and it's going to be completely redone after that. Like, the signs are there. It's all happening. You know, Elon taking over Twitter, even though he's backing off on a lot of shit, and I really don't like what I'm hearing. But it's still like, I think at the end of the day, if it just destroys Twitter, that's still the best option. I think Twitter just not existing is the best option for humanity. That's me. But the winds of change are happening. Like the Rings of Power got fucking destroyed by the Tolkien fandom. Like, it was a clear victory by the fandom of just fun. One fandom just said enough. And we whooped a $1 trillion company's ass. To where they're fucking reeling right now. They're absolutely reeling. More on that later in a video. But yeah, people are, you know, like Universal, like outdrawing in certain aspects of the park. Disney is fucking incredible in Florida. It's like unheard of. Disney didn't get their tax status back, by the way, which is good. I mean, I hate taxation, but they should give it to Universal or something like that. Yeah, we're seeing these changes happen. Sure, we lost a lot of franchises, but look at the franchises that are changing too late. Doctor Who, bringing back David Tennant. Too late. Did you see the ratings?
No.
So the overnight ratings were pathetically low, but they were waiting for the 7-day. Well, the 7-day finally came out. It was about 5 million people watched it. That's about a Capaldi episode. That's the amount of a Capaldi. So they're trying to spin it as positive. No. Capaldi's ratings were considered so low, they needed this drastic change of bringing in the female doctor, because I hate to break this to you, it was a political and ideological decision, not a creative one. And it gave it a boost, a huge boost, and then dipped to all-time lows. And you bring back David Tennant. This is it. This is like the biggest move you have. You bring back Russell T. Davies. It's like bringing back George Lucas and Han, Luke, and Leia in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it was barely a bump. It was, I would consider it a flop, a massive flop, that they didn't have 10 million people watching fucking Jodie regenerate back into David Tennant. And this is a show that regularly got 10 million people watching it. Regularly. So 8 to 10 million in a country of 66 million people, by the way. Insane. Those are fucking insane numbers. And nobody cared. Apathy. Star Trek. Picard season 3 is going to be basically Star Trek: The Next Generation. Does anybody give a flying fuck? No. It's too late. Andor, critically acclaimed. A lot of people like it. I don't. I thought it was boring, shit, and slow. But a lot of people are saying it's the best Star Wars in years, and it's not charting at all. Nobody cares. Apathy.
And it's not even a big part of the conversation. I mean, you know, it's just they you know what? If every episode had something actually happen and some action, it'd be decent. I certainly like the production value, how it looks. It feels different. It's not leaning into member berries or any of that BS. But yeah, it's again, all this stuff is too little, too late. Also, maybe too soon to talk about this, but I'll just casually mention that I got the first 3 episodes of the Willow series.
Oh,
I won't say much, but I'll just say this: it's everything you think it's going to be,
dude.
I mean, it opens with 2 women fighting with swords. Disney
fucking sucks.
Sort of simpy dude that's supposed to be Val Kilmer's son. He kind of looks like him too, which is interesting. But it's super. It's just the most generic fantasy show. With, unless you like religiously have watched Willow, you probably wouldn't even care or recognize any of the people. And Willow was not like a big. I mean, do you remember Willow having like any sort of, traction, or just like, oh, okay, that was a fine thing. I mean, I prefer Krull if we're talking fantasy of that era.
Yes,
but yeah, man. So yeah, Willow is going to be from the first scene of the first episode, and it's clear that these 2 women are going to come out as gay. They don't say they're gay in the beginning; they're just friends. So the 2 women, they're friends, but one of them has to go and get married, and they're not really happy about that. And it's all an F the patriarchy thing, and like princes. It's trying to flip fantasy on it's like a whole new take on sort of traditional fantasy tropes, right? Which was good about the first Willow. I mean, Willow was different for its time. It was fine. It was a little bit more for kids. I preferred Krull, but yeah, this new Willow series on Disney Plus is just I don't know. I just think you're going to watch the first 15 minutes and not give a shit, which is how I felt. I was
looking for who wrote it. Wasn't one of the cast in?
I don't even know.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I was looking for the SFX cover. I saw that yesterday on Twitter. I'll bring this back. Keep this up, X-Ray Girl, because we're gonna go through the last.
I can keep it up all day long.
Oh, there you go. Girl up.
Girl. You brought the debauchery back from Orlando.
Yeah, thanks, X-Ray Girl.
The debauchery.
Yeah, you're not on fucking Poor Choices. Okay, you're on now. I'm just kidding. She's like, whatever. I'm on Friday Night Tights. That's as debaucherous as it gets.
Yep.
Look at this fucking cover. Does this scream? Oh my god, it's Disney representation. Wow. And it's got Freckle Jesus. Freckle Jesus. As soon as I saw her, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. No, she was in Solo, right?
She was in fucking Solo.
Oh,
Captain America, and like she plays the same character, and it's like, oh my god, they really like this red-haired multiracial girl. Well,
yeah,
I got nothing against Freckles. All right, nothing against Freckles.
Yeah, but it's just, you could probably review it, Gary, without having seen it. Then what you should do is watch it, and your review will be accurate.
Okay, so Willow will barely be in. Okay, well, he'll be in his own show, but he will not be the through line or the main character. Yes. The main character will be one of these women in the back, one of the 50, or is that 50? No, it's only is that a girl or a guy? I don't care. The very diverse and inclusive cast will be the main characters, and Willow will just be there kind of along for the ride, like Hawkeye was in his own series, or Boba Fett was in his own series. It's very Disney. So like MCU goes way beyond just Marvel. It goes into Disney, Star Wars, and now Lucasfilm. And sorry, guys, I didn't think Willow was that great of a movie to begin with. I was older when it came out, and I wanted a Val Kilmer like action fantasy, and that's not what I got. So yeah. And those were the first sign. Well, no, it's the second sign of like, oh, this is Lucas without Gary Kurtz, Lawrence Kasdan, people, his wife, Marcia Lucas. This is George Lucas on his own, which is a much different beast than George Lucas with Gary Kurtz.
Right.
Quite frankly, which was the best George Lucas with Gary Kurtz sitting there going, no, George, tone it down a little bit. That's yeah. God bless Gary Kurtz. May he rest in peace. Yeah, this is but I know that Willow has its fans, and they're probably gonna hate it. I'm thinking of like Tom from Midnight's Edge right now.
Oh, he'll hate it. He'll hate it.
Poor Tom. Poor Tom. Oh, Tom shared a video we got to share before we get the super chats. Did you see James Gunn's tweet yesterday?
No, I didn't.
First day at work, and it's like Superman typing on a fucking typewriter, and he's like, I gotta restrain myself or I'll destroy the typewriter. It's just like a nice tweet, listen, James Gunn made weird, sick jokes in 2012 that I would never make. And I think Hollywood needs to do a lot to shake its reputation of being pedowood. I think we just need to just come out and say that. They haven't done anything to shake their reputation of being pedowood. So I wouldn't make any fucking jokes about it. Now, I think he should have been able to make those jokes and not gotten fired for it. Period. We haven't seen anything from him that indicates that the dude was a pedo. I haven't seen anything from her since. He's a woke moron, but that doesn't make him a pedo necessarily. I think he's a very talented director. I think he directs with a lot of heart. He puts a lot of heart, he does a lot of really cool stuff with his characters that we just don't see. I think he might be a good choice for Disney if he decides to not be a woke moron and just make superhero shit that's fun and inspiring. Then that's fine. But Kevin Feige just came out the other day and said, well, he's got to work with us through May. He's still got work to do for us through May.
Right.
He just started at DC yesterday. So I think there might be a conflict. I'm thinking James Gunn took it a little personal that he got fired from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yeah, he's like, oh, I'll take that job at Disney. Oh, or DC. Sure. Which is so weird. Remember the days when Marvel and DC would just steal creators from each other?
Yeah.
Back in the good old days. Jack Kirby would get ripped off, and then, it was just back and forth forever. And it was great because we got better comics out of it. Frank Miller would start at Marvel. They disrespected him. He went over to DC, and that truly launched his career. So Alan Moore wouldn't even fuck with Marvel. I think it had to do with Miracle Man, right? But he wouldn't fuck with Marvel ever.
Well, we're getting Wonder Man. How excited are you?
Black Wonder Man. The guy who played Dr. Manhattan, who went from blackface to blueface in the show, written by the very white Damon Lindelof. Holy shit, that show, I can't wait for people to look back on it in 10 years and just go, wow, this is the most pandering racist shit I've ever seen. Even like Alan Moore, who thinks he's a wizard, disavowed that fucking Watchmen TV show. It was so fucking bad. They had a Vietnamese female, Ozymandias, and all they did was put Ozymandias on trial, and basically the white male was put on trial and essentially executed. The whole time. That show was so fucking bad. Can't tell you how bad that show was. Might do it I don't know if Wolf still has the video up. It's probably archived somewhere. If you remember, Word of Wolf, great YouTuber, did the best breakdown of the first episode of Watchmen. Just fucking shreds it in the best possible way. If you can find that video, go watch it. God, we reviewed that show. I got so much shit. people were in our chat saying this review is dangerous. Fuck yourself. But Willow, yeah, looks like shit.
You are correct. You just, like I said, Gary, you should actually do an experiment. Review the movie or review the show before you see it, then watch the show to see how accurate your pre-review is. I think that would be interesting.
How many episodes is it?
I don't know how many it is. I got the first 3. I just finished like half of the first one, and I was like, oh my God, I already know where this is going, and I don't want to put myself through it. So, but it's like everything you think it's going to be, it is. It's like you could write it by predicting kind of what they're preaching. Everything is telegraphed or just spoken aloud. There's no subtext to any conversation.
Like, look, there's the magic medallion we need on the top of that hill. And then they show you the magic medallion on the top of the hill. And then you say, we need to get the magic medallion that's on the top of the hill. Yes, we do. And then they show them walking to the top of the hill to get the magic medallion.
That's it. It's all that. That's
third grade writing we have in Hollywood right now.
That's what it is.
How much? Oh, this is a long article. So let's go a couple more paragraphs and we'll get to super chats. Entertainment companies are not backing off the tough sexual harassment policies that have been introduced in recent years, in part because board members are worried they will face shareholder lawsuits. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences recently recommitted to its diversification campaign despite years of aggressive efforts to invite women and people of color to become members. The Academy is currently 66% male and 81% white. And didn't they get rid of what'd they get rid of? Not the Academy Awards. They got rid of the
Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes. And they're not coming back, are they?
No.
They're done. Wow.
Well, no, I hear that they're going to do, they did a contract to do one show.
Okay.
I mean, I think I think a lot of this, and I think a lot of this, the Me Too stuff too, is it's all power grab. So it's ending contracts with people anyways, as it's like a cost savings thing, right? So with the Golden Globes, they just, they're outraged over some moral impropriety. No, they just wanted to not give them $20 million. That's what it amounts to me, is they felt they were paying too much. Why are we paying this organization? We can do our own award show without them. And award shows are on the decline anyways. When you look at numbers, all award shows as a category, as a type of entertainment are going by the wayside, kind of like sitcoms with a fake laugh track. Some of that still exists, but that dominated for years and then just was not popular. I just think that certain types of shows are not popular with audiences anymore, right? They're not.
Yeah.
So
20th century models dying out.
Yeah.
No, if Ricky Gervais comes and roasts celebrities, it would be fucking watched by millions of people. If celebrities could sit there and just be roasted, like you won an award, you got roasted. That would be fucking great. That would be fun. Like get like real comedians to go out there. Oh, did you see what's his face ripped off Ricky Gervais, like word for word?
Oh God, yeah, James Corden.
What
an asshole.
I liked him when he was Craig on Doctor Who, but now I fucking can't stand him. Can't stand the sight of him. I remember him dancing on the freeway, on the fucking freeway and blocking traffic in LA. That's like a quick way to make yourself an enemy in that town, by the way.
Yeah. So many people like Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, they're just freaking mouthpieces for whatever the narrative is. It's horrifying to see. And Jimmy Kimmel lashing out at like Elon unprovoked.
We just had the DHL leaks, which is, not underselling this. I agree with the Quartering and Tim Pool on this one. Biggest story of our time. Biggest story of our time that nobody's talking about. Like politicians should be going to jail. Our government basically circumvented our rights by going through private companies. But once the private company starts working with the government, by the way, that's real fascism. Mm-hmm. They cease being a private company. They cease, and they're being used to circumvent our rights, our rights of free speech and free expression. This is the biggest scandal I've ever seen. Not much is going to be done about it. We'll see if I can even fucking talk about it here. But if it's happening in Silicon Valley, as above, so below, it's fucking happening in Hollywood. You don't think there's a portal or a direct contact for NBC? Have you not known that the CIA has been working in the press for years? Absolutely, like since its inception. They've had people at the New York Times. They've had people at the Boston Globe. Like, this is old hat. So they are literally government stooges. And we saw them working directly for Pfizer, which came out and admitted that their vaccine isn't a vaccine. So yeah, it's fucked. And now's the time. We need to change this shit now. But they overreached and it's starting to fall apart, and that's good. But we need to stay really. We got to have something we haven't had as a people for a long time. A long fucking memory. A long memory. Saw that dumb bitch from the Atlantic talk about COVID amnesty. Go fuck yourself with that COVID amnesty shit.
That was weird to preemptively put that story out. Just felt weird.
What did she think? I mean, how fucking clueless do you have to be? I ratioed her with with my response. I'm fucking nobody. So
I voted.
Yeah.
I voted yesterday in person. Never got my mail-in ballot. Never got it, but didn't care. Was going to vote anyways. But yeah, no, I voted in person yesterday.
Good. Mail-in ballots should be illegal. But hey, thank God for the free state of Florida and Texas. Both of these states. Tennessee too. Got Tennessee. And we're gonna have more states like that. And maybe things get flipped. California, no hope right now. I really think people should try to break up California. Split it at the very least in the 3 states.
Yeah, why not?
It needs to happen. Because right now, California, you're run by San Francisco and LA. It was great getting to see you guys again. Better that I didn't have to drive to Texas from Florida to do it this time. That's good. I'll keep you posted on the store. And thanks again for inspiring me to get out there and finally do something I'm passionate about. Idolo for $50. Yeah, you're opening up a shop. I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it. And that's what I did, dude. I was working a straight up blue collar job, like the job you said you were working. And I found a newspaper ad that, and I was working at Oakland Acura, went to lunch, sat down on the little couch in front, was reading the old timey newspaper. And it said, 300 long boxes for sale for like $2,000. I'm like, oh shit. So I might buy that and then store it for my shop when I have it in retirement. And my wife's like, why wait till retirement? I'm like, well, if something comes up, fine. So I go to buy those comics. And while I'm buying the comics, the guy's like, oh, it's from a comic shop. And that comic shop's for sale. You should talk to him. So I talked to him. And within a week, I owned a comic shop.
Wow.
Because my wife said, why wait? Do it now. I'm like, I don't know how to run a business. She's like, you figure it out. And I did. I read some of the Small Business for Dummies. But good luck. Okay, good luck. It's not about making money. It's about being your own boss, right? And that was fucking rad. So that was the best part. Comic shop. All right, so in August, Warner Brothers Discovery shelved Batgirl, a nearly finished movie starring a Latina actress. At least they said Latina. I think that Latinx shit is finally dying, thank God. Featuring a transgender actress in a supporting role, written by a woman, produced by a woman, and directed by 2 Muslim men. Yeah. Do you know how wonderful it makes them feel when they're just referred to as the 2 Muslim men? Why don't you just put their names? And it makes them feel even better that they were hired like that, and then their fucking movie doesn't come out. Discovery never publicly explained its decision, but signaled that it found Batgirl to be creatively lacking. Dan Lin, a producer who credits include Aladdin and the Lego Movie, was among those who inferred something else. It's no longer about optics, Mr. Lin said. A recession is coming, budgets are tightening, and I'm really worried that diversity is going to be the first thing that goes. It doesn't need to be, okay? Unless you're out and out admitting that people weren't talented enough, because the only anythings we need are POTs, people of talent. What they look like doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Are you good enough for the fucking job? Are you good enough for the job? End of story. Be good enough for the job. Are you just getting a job based on your skin color? Because you're not helping anybody by doing that, by accepting that job just because you're getting it from your skin color. Now, you might not have control, but eventually I think people do figure it out. I don't think they're stupid. I don't think people are stupid for the most part.
You got to popularize that term, Gary. POT.
POT. People of talent.
We need more pots in the world.
We need more pots in the world. The producer Dan Lin recently started a nonprofit that aims to help budding minority filmmakers and writers. Todd Williamson / Envision via AP. Now, if you want to start a nonprofit to help people, there's nothing wrong with that. But are you going to discriminate? This month, Warner Brothers Television, as a part of the wider cost-cutting, shut down New Voices program, but then they dissolved it into another one. There is no longer across-the-board banishment for men who have been accused of misconduct. Johnny Depp is directing a film because he what? Was in a toxic relationship. They were both drug addicts, and well, he got abused by a horrible harlot who shat in his bed. You see Dave Landau and Crowder, by the way, for Halloween went as Johnny Depp's bed. Fucking funny.
I didn't see that.
He did. That was fucking great. Having largely won a court case in which his former spouse, the actress Amber Heard, accused him of sexual domestic violence that she could never prove. John Lasseter, the animated titan of Disney, who was completely fucked over, and Pixar, was toppled in 2018 by allegations about his behavior of, unwanted hugging. Apologize for missteps that were made. Some staff members feel disrespected or uncomfortable. You know what? It's like that little bitch we saw from Starbucks.
Yeah.
People hug. Some people are just huggers. That's the way they are. If you're raised that you're such a precious that you can't be touched, then don't fucking go out. Stay home. And this fucks over the people who were like, I don't know, like raped on a fucking couch.
Yeah, it's weird to like judge John Lasseter on the same scale as like a Harvey Weinstein. I mean,
yep.
Harvey Weinstein did monstrous things. He was horrifying, and I believe got what he deserved. Having said that, there's a lot of people. Did John Lasseter do anything illegal other than maybe some jokes and some hugging? And he made some people like that Starbucks barista feel uncomfortable. Those are the people. Those are the people getting hired, and those are the people. By the way, we could at some point we need to have a conversation about like the HR. I got to tell you stuff that I'm hearing. HR departments at TV and film studios, they used to get like maybe a call a week or couple calls a week. It's 30 calls every week. They are insane,
ridiculous,
and it's all from the type of guy that we showed that video of at the beginning, that Starbucks barista. It's all from those types. It's that kind of complaining, right? Like it's just people who haven't been out in the world. Probably someone who wasn't hugged or loved enough it's growing up.
I mean, Hollywood is a magnet for neurotic people. Okay, I know.
Right.
Newsflash. Neurotic people who will do just about anything for power because they've either been abused or they're fucked up. I don't really fucking know, but it's a magnet for neurotic people who have no qualms making some shit up or over exaggerating to fuck somebody over just to have a little power trip because they feel so powerless. That's happened to a lot of people, and that happened to John Lasseter. who, you know, I met him at Tesla. Fucking nice guy, completely nice guy. And he's getting the last laugh. He left Pixar. He went over to the new animation studio and basically is pulling everybody from Pixar over. And as I say in my next video, Disney did not start Disney Star Wars, Disney Marvel, or Pixar, but they're sure as hell going to finish them.
Yeah.
Because they cannot create, and because they bent over to the woke mob. John Lasseter, who's by all accounts a fucking genius, is not somebody you just let go because of fucking hugs. Like, was it against the law? Can you discipline him behind the scenes?
That should be the standard. And at a certain point, come on, like there needs to be some firing of some of these assistants or lower level people coming into the workplace that don't understand how workplaces work. Sometimes you will hear something that offends you. Fuck off. That's what I would say to end. Just get over yourself.
Get over yourself. Nobody's asking for anybody to creep on you or any shit like that. But like, seriously, you know, you're not that fucking special. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you and I are close in age, Gary. And I know that, like, look, no, the world, I learned quick, the world doesn't revolve around me. A lot of other people in the family sphere, and the world doesn't revolve around me. Now you got a generation of kids who've been told, well, the world revolves around you. You're great. You get a trophy no matter where you place. I mean, my girlfriend, who's a school teacher, tells me they're constantly trying to find ways to not give, you know, grades in a negative way. So they don't do like A, B's, and C's. You get like a 1, 2, 3, or 4. You know, it's like this, like they're just finding ways because they don't want to hurt kids' feelings. You know what? You need that. You need, I believe, I truthfully believe this. Pain is how you learn. Now, and by pain, I don't mean actual, like, look, you touch a hot stove, you feel pain, you learn, hey, don't touch a hot stove. But pain, whatever it is, and God, because my kids they would have like a stomach ache. Oh yeah, do you really have a stomach ache? No, they didn't do their homework. Go to school, feel the pain. It sucks. Learn the lesson that needs to be learned is meet your deadlines and do the work. And you'll feel proud of yourself when you get, you know, a recognition.
You'll find out like doing the work was easier than lying about it, than having to go and double lie about it and deal with the consequences. It's like, oh, the work is actually easier.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know I sound like a curmudgeon and kind of a mean dad, which is because I wanted my kids to be strong. I wanted them to have a backbone and be strong-willed. And also, you know, like, look, I don't want my kids treated, well, they're not kids now, they're adults, but like, you know, to be treated in ways when they see like a red flag of someone, no, that's not a person that's going to be in my friend circle or whatever. It's we spend way too much time these days tiptoeing around people's feelings, walking on eggshells, and it's bullshit. Even Obama said that. So the Democratic Party is not the fun party anymore. You're just walking on eggshells constantly to not hurt people's feelings. Oh, just so irritating. The place that we're at these days, which has led to now our entertainment just being completely fucking ruined by idiots not standing up to the assistant that complained they were hugged too much by John Lasseter. Was there ever an investigation? Was there ever anything that like what? And then also at the end of the investigation, there are people not get out of there. Then fine, you don't get to work at this company. You know, it's I never heard anything about him that was anything that was beyond the limit, right? Of a crude joke or maybe an unwanted hug, and maybe okay. You know, and this is something, why did it come out public? Okay, why did that even come out public? It could have been a thing. Hey, there's this person. Maybe you kind of like, oh, a human resources issue. Fine. Not going to hug that person. They're not into it. Fine. Or how about like express yourself, hey, John, I'm not really a hugger or whatever that is. But also, I don't know, fuck off. Kind of learn to like, it's just weird.
Set your boundaries.
Yes. Yeah. Learn your boundaries.
It's weak to go out and snitch behind somebody's back, especially when, you know what, you got to have proof. And there was a time where we like saying that was wrong, you know, backing Vic Mignogna, great guy, by the way, hung out with him, super nice.
Vic likes to hug. He's a hugger. I know. I was
Vic is a touchy-feely Italian guy. That's like a patch on the back, put his arm around you. It's not. It's just that's what he is. He's a super nice. He likes people. He's a social creature. And it's fucked up what he went through. And I was very proud to wear I Stand With Vic shirt at the Star Trek convention. And like, that's the only place I've ever gotten like legit dirty looks. Owner got mad at me. Didn't give a fuck. It was great. They didn't kick me out, to their credit. But I just saw this paragraph and I got to read it.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll get the super chats. Examples Blonde, the Netflix drama about Marilyn Monroe, has been derided by critics as exploitive and misogynistic. It's exploitive because like it was pure fantasy. By the way, it features an aborted fetus that talks. Yeah, like that was a weird movie. I mean, like those can exist though. But here's my favorite. Paramount Pictures is working on a live-action musical comedy about slave trade reparations. It comes from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the politically incorrect creative forces behind South Park and the Book of Mormon.
Oh, that'll be great. You know that'll be brilliant.
That is fucking holy shit. And look at this. They're like, it's politically incorrect. I mean, they completely, the Book of Mormon was fine, slaying the Book of Mormon. But you can't make a comedy about that. Yeah, you can. See, that will tell us that we're on the mend if we can make comedies about anything. Like, guys, dude, I don't know why somebody hasn't written the Blazing Saddles of SJWs yet. That is, for one, it is the lowest hanging fruit in the world. Some comedian with, worth half his salt could write a script that could be like the old school, the dodgeball. Remember PCU?
Yes.
Need another PCU, but like way like more like Blazing Saddles, which is just ripping woke culture from beginning to end for about an hour and a half. It would do great. It would fucking do great. And just like give no fucks, have zero fucks to give. It would be a massive hit, a massive fucking hit. Cowardly Hollywood right now. I heard Vince Vaughn has an idea for Dodgeball too.
I heard that too.
A little late, but I'd be open to it. Dodgeball, I just watched it. It's fucking great. Okay, so all right, we're gonna read some super chats. I'm gonna read. We can revisit this. That's a good article, dude. That's a good fucking article. Holy shit! Hang on to that, X-Ray girl.
You haven't gotten to the best part.
What was the best part?
Well, just like talking about the guy talks about how he may have hired people that weren't ready for positions. It's a polite way of saying, yeah, I hired people basically based on how they looked, but they weren't ready for the job.
Oh.
But the fact that that's being admitted now, it's like, oh yeah. But
Lauren Hisrich from The Witcher. I'm calling her out. I know she did her back and forth with Jeremy and she tried to be cute, but she's like, she is completely underqualified to do male European fantasy, like an Elric ripoff, like The Witcher. But maybe The Witcher failing will open the door for a proper, straight up masculine fucking Elric and Conan series someday. Like we can have hope of that happening again. Because hey, like the ladies say, a lot of men can outwrite women. Well, a lot of women cannot write men. Have no fucking clue how to do it. And it's because you haven't had a background in comic books, fantasy books. There are women who have that background who can do that, but they're like unicorns. Who's pretty good at writing men? J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling, very good at writing men. There's others too. I don't want to say no. There was a lot of good female comic book writers. A lot of good ones. Bradley Burnett has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Thank you, Bradley. Yellow Flash, what's up? You hear me name drop my boy Yellow Flash. Hey, it was great meeting you at Universal. Gotta see the tweet.
I have a Yellow Flash plushie.
Hey, Yellow Flash, we made that like you do? Oh, you do. Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah,
You
I
can
do.
see his ass.
Duh.
So Yellow Flash, I guess we made that Where's Waldo Find the Lol Cow. That was brilliant. We're going to show it on Friday Night Tights. It was actually an honor to be on that because it's like internet lore. It's got the good, the bad, and the ugly from the internet. My favorite one was Keffels and Vito. Keffels and Vosh chasing little kids on a logo of Vito. I fucking died when I saw that. Oh my God, that was fucking funny. And Mahler had who did he have in a headlock? Nostalgia Critic. Yeah, Mahler had the Nostalgia Critic in a fucking headlock. I was like, yeah, that's great. But watch the Flashcast. But I've been told, and this is from Yellow Flash for $20. Thanks, buddy. But I've been told Bob Chapek is the savior of Disney. No woke on his watch. I have been told the same thing, Yellow Flash, and it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Bob Chapek might be a fucking registered Republican, but what he is a CEO of a major corporation who now is just a fucking puppet to his board because of that hostage video he took part. He actually tried to make a CEO decision by saying, we're not going to get into politics. And he buckled like a bitch when he didn't need to. And then afterwards, destroyed his company because of that hostage video. And then all the other shit got leaked out. It was Christopher Russo. I want to get his name right on Twitter, who found a bunch of videos. It wasn't leaked. I mean, these things were just Zoom calls of their talking about their not so secret agenda to indoctrinate your children. Disney. And like, go look. This is news to you. Go look into it and think twice before you give them money to go to a park. I promise you, Universal will be a better experience, and they don't want to indoctrinate your children. And it's a little cheaper. It's possible to go to Orlando and not set foot into fucking Disney. I did it. It was great. Gary B. Calore on the Streamlabs side for $20 in 4 parts, $5 each, regarding the white people sitting out Wakanda forever to prove themselves allies. It's so easy a transition. It's so easy as a transition child could. It's so easy a transition child could grasp it. Mixed race viewers watch either the first or second half in special cases such as One Quarter Black Garrett. The viewing time is obviously adjusted. Latinx would only get to witness the scenes featuring Namor or Ramon. That tweet, that meme yesterday. Let's go on my Twitter. There's Ramon, which is great. Whenever he's not on screen, they are encouraged to wear the entire Christmas tree just like he does in order not to expose the non-Latinx content. Part 3 of 4. Whitey's Peckerwoods or crackers can join in whenever Shuri or Riri bring up colonization. However, they may only watch said sequences while bending the knee and tearfully apologizing to a POC. I'm assuming Asians get to keep track of the screen time allocated to individual characters and or make assumptions about the long-term box office haul on the sequel triumph. That and Odin. I agree. Nate Moore is doing the press junket, Chris, and not Kevin Feige on this movie. I'm wondering if it has to do with the skin color. I'm just going to wonder that out loud. Nate Moore said that Namor, because it's not Namor, it's Namor, is going to be representative of a colonized nations. He's going to be an allegory. His people are going to be an allegory for colonized nations. Okay. Atlantis myth. Atlantis was a mother civilization. Some think it's a myth. Some think it's a legend. Some think it's history wrapped in a myth and a legend. Follow Randall Carlson. Atlantis, part of the myth was they were conquerors. They started out good, and then they turned into pretty evil conquerors, and they had to pay, and that's why their island was sunk by the gods or a cataclysm or both, whatever you want to believe. But they were conquerors. The Mayan, which is now called culture, was called the Mayan Empire because they conquered people. That's what empires do. They can't even get their fucking story straight, right? So they're telling people Talokan is an underwater world. I think and I only know a little bit about it, but again, it's like there's multi levels in the Aztec myths. There's underworld, and it's one of the underworlds, but it's a paradise run by a rain deity, I believe. Could be wrong on that, and it's Aztec. It's not Mayan. But been a while since I read a book on that stuff. But yeah, it has nothing to do with Atlantis. It has nothing to do with Namor from the comics, and it's not for representation. Like I said earlier, it's done to say so they can have Namor, because they can't have Namor outright. They just can't. I don't know why they just don't come out and say that. That's weird. Like, I think Disney plays too many things close to the vest because they are so afraid to look flawed. And I'm wondering when corporations are going to wake up and show, like, if you admit your mistakes once in a while, people are going to like you a lot more. Yeah, like these corporations have to put off this we are a perfect entity that every mistake that was perceived was actually on purpose. We meant to do that. It's fucking crazy. And these are the companies, the corporations that are using the fan baiting marketing. That comes from activism. That is a tool that they use. It's not just this natural thing that the companies are initiating this, folks. Disney has already practically been caught through rewriting Ripley. It is very coincidental that rewriting Ripley has written now 3 articles. We didn't even talk about the third one on us, and they are suspiciously followed by a lot of people from Lucasfilm on Twitter. One of them is a former Disney Star Wars employee, and they specifically went after me, Ryan, Jeremy, both Jeremys. It's really just coincidental. I know, don't want to be conspiratorial or anything. But I couldn't see how a giant company would want to silence critics that might hurt their bottom line with cutting through their bullshit. It's really bad for the narrative. Key Lime Kayla for $50. Thank you. Hail to the fellowship. First ever meetup in Orlando was great and lovely meeting you all. Gary, you're an inspiration for us sober nerds out here. Hell yeah. You're now at 272 days. I was going to say 269 days. I remember, and counting. I don't want, what's that supposed to mean? IW. Do you know what it means?
Mm-mm.
I'll figure it out. I'm probably supposed to know what that means, but I'm a boomer. Key Lime Kayla, it was great meeting you. Chris, you need to get out of here?
Soon, but I'm having a good time just catching up.
I am too. So
I'll stick around.
Okay, we'll stick around for a few more.
Yeah.
Kayla was awesome. We met at the meetup. She had 269 days sober when she was super excited, and I remember like getting past that 6 months. That was the biggest hump ever. But like Kayla, I remember when I was walking to my first meeting after relapsing, and it was like, I'm gonna stay sober for the next 10 minutes. That's all I can promise myself. I can just the next 10 minutes, and I would just do it. And then I made it to the meeting. Okay, well, we'll make it obviously through the end of this meeting. And then I would just trick my mind into just doing it. What's up?
Kayla says that it means I will not drink with you today.
That's awesome. I love it.
Thanks, Kayla.
Thanks, Kayla. Well, we can drink coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Geek
grind coffee. Thanks, Kayla. God, yeah, that first day was hard. And I was like surrounded by sober people. There was like 6 sober people like around me at all times. Zach Hammond for $20 on the Streamlabs side. My coworker's wife was diagnosed with aggressive brain cancer. Oh no. They need help with meds and covering house to wheelchair accessibility. There's a GoFundMe. Zach, also maybe think about opening up a Give, Send, Go. People want to help, but GoFundMe pissed a lot of people off with the truckers. Yeah. But if you need help, there is a link. If you could share that link.
Yes, I have already.
Sorry to hear that, Zach.
Thanks, Eric. By the way, Eric K for doing that.
Yep. Shirley SOB for $20. Glad to see you survive the Orlando HIV. I wasn't expecting a nooner today, so this is a nice surprise. Also, this is my first ever super chat to anyone. Oh, wow. There you go. So be gentle with my tender cave. Oh. Wait. I gotta say. Tender cave.
I want to use that now.
Yes. Awesome shirt, Gary. Rest in peace, Witcher, and every other major property. There's absolutely nothing to look forward to other than Henry Cavill's Superman and Shad's Star Wars project. Hail Nerdrotic and the Fellowship. And Isom. You got Isom, Nate. Homer for $19.99. You got House of the Dragon was good. Mm-hmm. Quite like that. I can't wait to do a rewatch. I'm going to do that this weekend. But yeah, there's not. I saw, what is the trailer I saw that I wanted to see? The Bright Blue Eye comes out Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. Here. It's like Edgar Allan Poe. It's got Christian Bale.
The Pale Blue Eye, maybe?
Pale Blue Eye. The Pale Blue Eye.
Okay.
I like the trailer for that. So it's like a murder investigation of some colonial American soldiers. And Edgar Allan Poe, it like assists in this murder investigation, takes place back in old-timey days. It looks kind of fucking cool. I like that. So yeah, there's a couple things. I tried watching a couple shows. Peripheral was turned dumb quick. I was fine with the first episode, but then it just turned dumb. And then The Devil's Hour was just so fucking slow. I couldn't get, I just gave up. I was waiting for Capaldi to show up, and he didn't show up for like 2 episodes. I was like, I give up. But there might be, I want to see, there's, it's a foreign film. Oh, the creators of Dark are doing $18.99. That's coming on Netflix. That looks kind of interesting. It's about a ship and a portal and all kinds of weird shit. And then there is that Troll movie that I want to see. Have you seen the trailer for Troll?
God, I think I did.
Yeah, it's where the troll's a mountain. So like it's obviously the father and the daughter are doing some work. All of a sudden you see the eye open and this giant fucking troll gets out. It looks pretty cool. So there's some stuff that kind of looks interesting. But the Pale Blue Eye, and I think it's $18.99, which is going to be on Netflix. Those I want to see. Because Dark started out really fucking great. Like, really great. Finished kind of not so great, but good concept. Where was I? Okay, there we are. Vesuvius for $25, 2 parts. If they used Talak, the Aztec god, for Namor, the Aztecs used to torture children to collect his treats before. It's close to that, but it's Talak Talok, not Talak. And they're talking about the land. The Aztecs used to torture children to collect their treats before sacrificing them to him in order to bring rain. He is bad or worse than all of them. Yeah, well, most of the correct me if I'm wrong, okay? A lot of the South American deities were neither good nor bad. They just were. Lots of, I guess they call it dualism or duality. I don't know. Vesuvius also says Talak, the rain god, demanded the tears of children, totally demonic. Yeah, that's not good. Well, for one, you shouldn't be using Aztec. Aztec's like the later culture. I would have gone Olmec, not Mayan, but Olmec, which gives you way more mystery because there is a connection with the feathered serpent to possibly some Atlantis myths. Because you got to watch Brian Forster or, again, Randall Carlson, or even more, Graham Hancock knows the shit on this. But the bringers of civilization, he was one of the bringers of civilization. But again, he wasn't native to the land. He came from the ocean. And Mesopotamia has very similar gods. Egypt has very similar, not gods, well, kind of gods, but with a small g. Bringers of civilization that taught people how to restart after a cataclysm. And they always had like some kind of fish or serpent or feathered serpent kind of thing going on. And they had their little man bags. And that's the trippiest one of all. So the feathered serpent in the Olmec culture has this little, what looks like a man purse, like he's holding a man purse. Well, Mesopotamia has men holding the very same man purse, and those man purses are carved into the stones at Göbekli Tepe as well. And I think they're also on Easter Island. So it's really strange how these symbols that look like little man purses like show up everywhere around the world, and they're all pretty much the same. It's pretty trippy stuff. But there's connections you could have made, but they don't care about any of that. They're going to just like look at Wikipedia real quick and do their thing. I remember they have resources and armies of people and money to professionally lie to us all the time. Instead of just coming out and saying, you know what, we had some rights issues with Namor. Because the reason they don't want to say that is because they want you to think that they actually made the change for representation and inclusion, which couldn't be further from the truth. Cartography Prime for 20 Canadian pesos. Hail, Gary. I'm writing my own fantasy story with a female protagonist. Good. But I'm worried my feedback is pushing me in a woke direction. What should I keep in mind to avoid writing in a woke way? Well, you keep yourself. Don't let any outside ideology or identity politics influence your story. That's it. Let your own inspiration, like you can have a strong female. House of the Dragon has them, and they're not acting like a bunch of dudes. They're women trying to work within a world that is run by a bunch of very strong men, so they have to use their fucking brains, and that's why it works. Aside from the Rhaenyra scene, who murdered hundreds, possibly thousands of people. And it wasn't a girl boss moment. It was a fucking horrifying moment. Not Rhaenyra, Rhaenys. Sorry, I always get them mixed up.
Yeah,
Princess.
The names on House of the Dragon are they're just Aemon, Aegon. Then there was Aegon.
Yeah, it's easier with Song of Ice and Fire because you have different houses. You're dealing with Starks and Aarons, and yeah, this is just Targaryen and Valerian. The one thing I did because I've always thought the Targaryens were kind of boring, but they really got into the Valerian lore, which is the most interesting part about them, which made it more interesting. And fucking Matt Smith and Patty Constantine made the show. So for all the representation in the world, it was two white guys. But just want to point that out. Patty's gone though, but you could see like the interest died down a little bit after he left, after he was gone. So let's see if they can recapture some of that. Because honestly, I mean, you could have ended the series with episode 8. They stumbled on episode 9 like big time. With that rainy scene was fucking terrible, and it just came out of nowhere. And people who were like 1,000% backing the show up until then were like, "Ugh." I was watching it with Mahler and another unnamed YouTuber, who were both loving it and just went, "What the fuck was that?" Mark Wilkins says, "It was good to finally be able to meet you twice at the Orlando meetup. Glad you like Gen X criminal defense attorneys." I do. Criminals need defense because they ain't all criminals, and the system is the state, and it should not be trusted at all. And having been a criminal where the state can act very comfortable around me because I'm just a number to them, I'm not a human being, and you get to see how people really fucking act behind the curtain. We definitely need criminal defense attorneys because people get wrongfully accused. Drugs do get planted by cops. There are dirty fucking cops. There are dirty prison guards. Because they're humans. So yeah, we do need that balance. And I am totally against the death penalty. And like, even for the worst of the worst, I think locking them up forever. Don't give them, like, put them in solitary. Except for maybe some you can put against the wall. It's always been tort, but I hate the state having that power. I really do. We are lucky it hasn't been abused. You know what I came across, Chris? Fucking YouTube. This is why I hate shorts. Fuck shorts. So I was sick and I rolled over on my phone and I look up and there's a YouTuber short of Chinese officers executing people.
Holy shit.
Like straight up killing fucking people on YouTube. And yeah, their body was blocking, but you saw the body go limp and die. And I'm like, well, gee, I've never really thought about the death penalty in China. I looked up and wow, you can get killed for a lot of shit in China. A lot of shit. Yeah, you don't want a state having that kind of power. You just don't. You just don't. But yeah, like, it was totally disturbing. I'm like, wow, I fucking didn't want to see that. Thanks, YouTube shorts. Go fuck that. Drew Addison for $20. Gary, good meeting you this weekend. Good meeting you as well. Just wanted to let you know I DM'd you the screenshots from Lord of the Rings where Amazon added goofs to their overlays when Rings of Power was coming out. Yeah, Amazon, Drew told me that Amazon was actively trying to throw a little shade from OG Lord of the Rings, which they have clearly been doing, by the way. Amazon is desperate. Here's a Forbes article came out that I'll just refer to real quick that I can't believe I agree with, but Rings of Power and House of the Dragon are both making the same mistake. What's that mistake, Chris? Can you guess?
I don't know. It's not putting
Taking
the right
too long to come out with season 2.
Well, that's yeah. When is Game of Thrones, or excuse me, House of the Dragon?
2024. Big mistake.
Oh God.
They should have already been in production.
Well, at least they announced that it was greenlit. I think after the first episode or two.
Yeah.
House of the Dragon was coming back, but like, yeah, that big gap is going to be tough.
It's too long.
It's too long. I think that what they should have done is broken House of the Dragon, broken season 1 into 2 halves. I know people hate that, but it would have made the time jump and the cast change actually a little bit more. If they just added, like, maybe it's a couple months, 3 months, whatever, just like that actually would have been, I think they saw blood with Rings of Power and wanted to just trounce it, which they did.
And I still think they'll beat Rings of Power out to production. But 2024, way too long.
Yeah.
Way too long. No, you got to do it in a year. 14 months.
Yeah.
Like, be out by next Christmas. Be out by next Christmas. Like, what's the fucking problem? And do what Chris said. Split up your season. You know, maybe drop 6 episodes around Christmas, before Christmas. Wait 3 more months and drop 6 more.
I think it would have been easier because of the cast changes. Same thing with the kids. You know, they kept recasting the kids, and that's fine. That actually makes a lot of sense because, you know, they're growing up. But the big cast change, I think it would have been easier to deal with if there was a gap. But, you know.
Ooh, a fan did a 4-scale upscale of the Venture Brothers, and it's fantastic. He even made 1 and 2 look freaking amazing from the original 480 proof. Where is it? Hey, Marcellus, for $5, email it to me. I hope that all the budget cuts are not affecting the Venture Brothers movie that we were supposed to get. I haven't seen Jackson Public or Doc Hammer talk about it in a while. Gary, have you listened to the band Hawkwind? I have not, Denny, but I'll check it out. Thank you for becoming a member. A Money Wilson, appreciate it. And Drew Addison, I got. Okay, I'm gonna have to end it here. We gotta let Chris go. He stayed way longer than he was supposed to.
That's I'm surprised you're here.
Oh, dude, I needed to do that. I missed you guys. I missed everybody in the chat. I missed you guys. I like Orlando was absolutely fantastic. I'm super grateful to know Geeks and Gamers. Jeremy is one of my best friends. Ryan is one of my best friends. Like, I am genuinely friends with everybody on FNT. It was great hanging out with Chrissy. Chrissy Mayer is so fucking cool. Like, one of the coolest people you will ever find. She's like X-Ray Girl. She's a very unflappable, cool person.
Agreed.
And as real as they fucking get. And she is Chrissy, the way she is on YouTube is the way she is in real life. Absolutely go check her comedy out. I think she could be like, if we get out of this woke bullshit, could be legit like a big star. Because she's an uber talent. So love her, love all my co-hosts. And yeah, we'll Europe, you're next. You are next. We are going to Europe. We're already planning it now. And we'll see who else can come along. Or, you know, Shad and I were kind of throwing it around. You know, Mahler's out there, Critical Drinkers out there, Az is out there, Disparu's out there, and Az is out there despite being a New Zealander. So, right? Yes, London for sure, Matt. We'll get to London, but other parts of the UK too, because I'm not going to just go there for a week. I'm going to go there for a long time. So it was tons of fun. But now it's back to work. I got a video coming out tomorrow. I owe you a Doctor Who video, a Rings of Power video. I got some catch up to do, but I wanted to come out swinging. So we're going after Wakanda Forever first.
I'm gonna see it on Monday. This upcoming.
Wow.
So are you now? I'm gonna see it on Thursday. I bought tickets. I bought a ticket to Black Adam.
Oh, good. So when I talk to you on the Nooner a week from today, I'll be able to discuss it.
Oh, great. Here's my hat for my next video, by the way. Remember the San Diego State Aztecs?
Right.
Monty Montezuma. Yeah, somebody sent me that hat, so I had to wear it for my video. I know Twitter feels a little better now. Like, I was talking some long shit yesterday, and the Marvel bots nowhere to be found. It's kind of crazy.
No, I'm seeing people say things on Twitter like that would normally get everybody banned. And I'm seeing people say, you know, we get you banned, and I'm seeing people say stuff. It's that's encouraging. So but I don't know. And maybe, you know, is Elon Musk just giving lip service to people to just like, hey, and he just tweeted something about like he's getting it from the left and the right, and that's a good thing. It's like, you know, maybe, I guess, but I feel like there's got to be some more dramatic changes.
Elon, because I know you're watching, the left has been way worse than the fucking right. Now we want to be careful, okay? We definitely don't want the pendulum to swing too hard the other way. We don't want the right to start canceling people and start suppressing free speech like the left has been doing for fucking years. So that has to be addressed. We can't play this fence sitter shit all the time. You got to lean a little bit. That's how balance works. Okay.
It's equality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the far left has been busted. DHL leaks. They have been fucking busted. And that's not what the left was ever, not when I was a kid. Hippies weren't about sucking up to corporations and suppressing free speech. That's not what they were fucking about. They stunk. That's why they invented patchouli oil. And I've never been a big fan, but I really was a big fan of their free expression, free speech, libertarianism kind of stuff. Big fan of that stuff. But that's gone now. So don't be like, and the ACLU are a joke. They're a fucking joke. They had plenty. They have plenty of potential cases with all the illegal lockdowns and people who lost their jobs, and they decided not to do a fucking thing about it and be a tool for Pfizer. So fuck them. Don't listen to them. Listen, he's had pretty good instincts till now. And I think, you got to kind of trust a billionaire's instincts. They're probably pretty good. That's why he's a billionaire. But I don't like what I'm hearing. But I did say retarded, and I didn't get taken off Twitter. But you know who did? Was Perry Chan. Because he said all men must die.
Really?
The nails for that one, yeah. So he found the limit. He found the line. Big surprise, Perry Chan found the line and crossed it.
That's great.
Good boy. All right. Chris, what you got coming up? You got a live stream coming up.
I got a live stream coming up at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Join me in the chat. We're going to be talking about Patrick Reed Johnson's indie movie. Have you ever heard of this film? 52577. It was produced by Gary Kurtz.
Oh yeah. I see the trailer. Yes.
It's about So this movie, I'm going to interview Patrick Reed Johnson on Friday on our Friday live cast, but we're just going to talk about the movie, and it's basically about what inspired him to come out to Hollywood and work in the film industry. And of course, that was the movie Star Wars, which came out on 5/25/77. So the best Star Wars thing that's been produced recently has nothing to do with Disney. This movie is not.
Isn't this guy? Isn't he calling himself the first Star Wars fan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'll ask him about it on Friday. But no, it's just the movie is. I mean, I watched it a couple times. It's bringing back so many memories, not just of but what fandom was like then. And if you were a fan of nerd stuff back then, I mean, you were ostracized. You were
you were
freak. You were a freak. You were teased and bullied and all that. And, if you read Starlog magazine or Fantastic Films or American Cinematographer, and these were not huge circulation magazines, but at the time they weren't. But that's what inspired. He totally captures that era. And he used to make Super 8 films that, and so it's cool. It's how that movie changed his life. That's a common story, changed a lot of people's lives. So we're talking about that and some other stuff, a Korean film called Decision to Leave, among others. Just weird shit that we always talk about in Film Threats. So I'll be doing that.
Starlog magazine, I still have a bunch of mine.
Oh my God. So great.
Brightest Day, it's called Setting Your Tattoo. I did. I now there was a young lady who got the same tattoo. I do not set tattoos for young ladies because I'm obviously misogynist and sexist. But for a dude, if he gets a brand new tattoo, you're supposed to set it, which means slapping it as hard as you can.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, all of my tattoos have been set by my friends when I wasn't looking because they're dicks, but that's the way we did. That's how dudes do it.
Well, I would do it that's how I itch the tattoo because you're not supposed to scratch it.
Brightest Day
Dang.
is all yoked up too. So don't be fucking with Brightest Day.
Oh yeah.
It'll fuck you up. No.
We saw his arms for the first time.
Yeah. So that sounds awesome. Again, I saw somebody in the chat mention. So on Netflix, look up the 1899 trailer. It starts out looking kind of like, yeah, 1899, and a ship gets a distress call. So they go to the distress call, and then all of a sudden a bunch of weird shit starts happening, and you see a portal and weird symbols and stuff, and and some of it's in English and some of it isn't, and it's from the people who wrote Dark, which was good, and it's coming out in November. There's also I return to the paranormal very, very soon. The day that Wakanda Forever comes out, Graham Hancock has a series coming out on Netflix, which is derived from his Randall Carlson interviews on Joe Rogan. That inspired the whole. Well, it's his life's work, but the world didn't really see, like, Graham Hancock blew up when he got on Joe Rogan. Like, I've known the guy I've known of the guy for over 2 decades. I've read all his books, but he's always been considered kind of like woo woo. And Joe Rogan brought him out into the world, and now he's getting way more mainstream, which is good because he's got some freaking fantastic ideas. And that series is coming out, and that's probably the single thing I'm looking forward to the most. Like, can't wait for it to come out. Going to review every episode. Going to go fucking balls deep in this one. Can't wait. X-Ray Girl, you got anything to plug?
If you want, you can subscribe to my Rumble channel or go to xraygirl.locals.com. I'm going to be doing my gaming stuff over there for the next couple months, see how that goes. And Poor Choices, Pour Choices. We drink wine and girl chat, which apparently a lot of people love. So yeah. And we got a guy coming on today. We got a Lee, Jay's brother, from The Capable Gentleman. So if you want to get some good tips on how to,
Oh, Drunk's brother?
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
He is. He's
him.
Got lots of style. So yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. So many drunk 3PO isms apparently run in the family too.
Oh my God. Sometimes they, like, if you close your eyes, they sound
alike and everything. Yeah.
Go tit. Yes. Eric I can drop the Rumble link in the chat for y'all.
Oh, look at you going to Rumble before I do.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a try. We'll see how it goes.
Good. Do it. Me and Rumble got to talk.
Yeah. Well, really, it's just because I want to get off Twitch. And I was going to go to YouTube, but had a chat with Rumble, and I'm going to try it. We'll see how it goes. No guarantees.
Yep.
There you go. There's the link. All right. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks. Quarter Black will be back next time. He's working on a video.
Mm-hmm.
He drove 20 hours straight like a maniac. So, but we love Quarter Black. He's probably out there listening. Perry is probably out there listening. Love you, man. And thanks everyone again for coming to the meetup. It's always humbling and it's inspiring, and they get bigger, and it's just more proof that what we do is what's going on here is organic, it's real, and it's working. It took a long time, but it's fucking working. So do not ever be afraid to speak your mind on shit. Silence changes nothing. Black pilling changes absolutely nothing. So for the, like I've black pilled Star Wars, but there's people who still have hope. Please still have hope. Still have hope. That's the best part of fandom, is you are a hopeful, optimistic lot. And that's my favorite part. So stay that way. Don't you go changing. We'll be back next week. This will be re-uploaded on Nerdrotic Live in the next couple of hours. And I'll see you on Friday Night Tights with, who's our guest this week?
Oh my God. I think it's Krigler. But let me confirm.
The coffee man, Krigler.
Yes, it is.
It again?
I keep thinking that, but we still have 2 days left.
Okay. So you can still get suspended. We got Krigler coming on, and probably Shad in place of one of our hosts that we'll talk about later. But yeah, thanks everyone. And thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. We will get Gundam back on soon.
Oh, it's been booked.
It's been booked. You hear it? It's been booked.
Yup.
Papa Gundam. Papa Gundam is the best. I like that. Adios, amigos.
Bye, everyone.
Later, chat.